Brought to you by
Makerere Institute for Social Development, a certified institution for higher learning, invites applicants for certificates and diploma courses. MISD or Makerere Institute for Social Development, facilitating your career.
On this 17th day of July 2026. My name is Patricia Lokoma Mpango, and straight away into the bulletin, and of course starting off with a bit of sad news. Police have confirmed that 21 people, including 20 pupils and 1 adult, died on Thursday evening's crash involving a King David Junior School bus in Kapchorwa district. The bus, which was returning from an educational tour to CP Falls, reportedly lost control at Chekwetit village in Kawowo sub-county before veering off the road and hitting a large road side rock and overturning. Several survivors were rushed to Kapchorwa General Hospital, Kaserem Health Center 4 and Bale Regional Referral Hospital. Let's hear more in this report.
I was worried that the number would be...
It was 11 p.m. on Thursday when ambulances and private vehicles continued to arrive at Mbale Regional Referral Hospital with injured pupils from King David Junior School in Ndeje.
So how many have passed on? 21.
Doctors and nurses, emergency teams worked through the night as they attended to the survivors, many of whom had been transferred from health facilities in Kapchorwa. Police says the Isuzu school bus registration number UA 10008BQ had taken the pupils on an education tour to CP Falls. On the return journey, the driver reportedly lost control of the bus at Chekwatit village in Kamawa Parish, Kawo sub-county, Kapchorwa.
These are some things you wonder.
The bus veered off the road, struck a large roadside rock and overturned. From Mbale, Minister Balaam Barugahara and Simon Mulongo traveled to Muyembe Health Center 3, where some of the injured were receiving treatment. They met health workers and received updates on the emergency response.
So you know get a Kaserem Kapchorwa?
The minister later proceeded to Kaslem Health Center 4, where doctors and nurses continued treating survivors before referring critical cases to large hospitals. Their final stop was at Kapchorwa General Hospital, where the largest number of casualties and fatalities had been taken. District Health Officer Slaj Masai briefed the ministers on the response and the condition of the survivors. Police says the bodies of those who died have been taken to Kapchorwa mortuary for identification and post-mortem before investigations, and later to be transferred to Mulago mortuary.
Well, right now let's cross over to Mbale, where Minister Barugahara is addressing the local council and see what's happening there. And of course, you'll also talk a little bit of the accidents that are happening within our country at the moment.
Where the church is situated, I think it was actually down. Where the road that person looked, this matter was dedicated between the person, the one the late killer, and Pastor Have you heard?
Maybe to clarify to you or to whoever is interested, the board under its powers leaves the land legally, as per the Attorney General's name.
No, what I wanted you to do is, listen, hold on. What I wanted you to want us to cross the of that land. Knew about that matter. public land is controlled by the city board or the district land board. Now the city board, any Ugandan, including Balam, has power and right to apply for land in any district. In Ibukedia, I applied for land, I got a plot in the town council. In Ikumi, I applied for land, I got a plot in the town council. And I've developed it, I've put a maize mill in place. In Imbale, I've applied several times for land, even in the industrial park. I wasn't able to get. When I bought land from one called Mashati, I was cheated. But I got a radio in Imbale with a transmission in Imbale, but I cannot run that radio without a home. So those are matters of the land. So recently I applied for land from one lady who got land here, and he allowed to give me 15 by 100, 15 decimal, for me to come and set up some business in Imbala as a Ugandan. So when the city allocates land to anybody, that is the owner of that land. And if he fails to develop the land according to the terms given, then the land will be withdrawn and given to another person. The land, if it belongs to Uganda Land Commission guided clearly who owns the land. So now our interest is, there has been another problem. 2 weeks ago the president directed, there's a forest somewhere here, I don't know where, the Busamaga there. So the president has said we are supposed to come with General Tafire to get that land and give it the different enterprises so that they leave the church land where they put a garage. So maybe in a week's time or 2 weeks' time, hope the dealers don't come and take it up from the poor. So the president directed and guided that we get the different groups who are into enterprises. The forest is degazetted, and the land the garage people get, and other beneficiary, other groups can also. You have ghetto people who are into craftsmanship, people who can't afford. You have border, you have a bus park. Yes? What is that? Yes. Yeah. So we are going to work on that land very soon. I will come back with General Kainda, the Minister of Environment, and another minister, they copied in, to come and we see how big is that land, and then we subdivide it, and then the council headed to those people to put up toilets, and then they start building their lockups and garages and common user facility. So that is the issue. I hope that your issue has been answered. That land was given rightfully by the board to developers, and the developers have the right to subcontract other people. So it is not your land, it's not my land, it is land of the board, and they gave it to someone. That man has a point. We are going to let us give you a TV now. Just sit there. Give him a chair. Okay. You now. You talk.
Number one, it's so that now we take on over the Then number two,
Bamukubire mu ngalo. Kaso mukubire omusajja oyo mu ngalo. Kale weebale nnyo. Weebale nnyo. Njagala y'abakyala. No. Kale weebale nnyo. Okay, that's okay. Kakati mbadde nsaba. I don't want us to divert. Listen to me, members. I don't want us to divert. We are here for a reason. We are here to expose the corrupt. Recently, we made a trade order as government of Uganda, passed by cabinet and sanctioned by the president. We said no kiosks on the street. We said no hawkers on the street. We said no selling food on the street. We said let's maintain our cities clean. I'm impressed you have planted the plants during the dry season. Hope we don't lose that budget. Mbale will look green. So I don't want to leave Mbale when the kiosks are back on the street. Make sure all kiosks, whether it is a councillor's kiosk, whether it is a member of parliament, remove those kiosks before midnight tonight. Town clerk, have you heard? No kiosks on the street. Let us stop cheap property and cheap politics. And let us not bend the law for a few and then apply the law for the many. If you allow them come, then you make a land saying Mbale is out of Uganda. But as long as you are under the control of the president of Uganda, as long as President Museveni is the president, any directive he makes, any directive he issues must be implemented to the dot. Like I was mentioning, government of Uganda is funding all these schools which keep cheating and taking fees from parents. In one term, Mbale High School receives 354 million from government of Uganda. What is that money for? For eating and doing administrative work at the school. Why are they charging poor parents money? Now, in total, Mbale High School has received 1 trillion in one financial year. Every quarter, Mbale High School receives 362. Unless they return that money to Kampala for other people to eat, there should be no charging fees from today onwards. And the headmaster who's charging fees, the headmaster in a government school charging fees should be indicted, number one, investigated and prosecuted for undermining the law of the president. I've asked you a simple question. You have RCC, you have deputy RCC, you have assistant RCCs. All these schools are located in places where you have RCCs. Nakaloke SS receives 190, receives total of 567 million shillings per year. They broke it down, 189 million, 186 million, 191 million on every quarter. That's the money Nakaloke has received. Then Mbale Nkoma SS has received 426 million in one quarter, quarter 4 release, which ended in July. Then they received 410, quarter 3, 421, quarter 1. So total budget allocated for Mbale Nkoma SS is 1.2 trillion. Why are you charging people school fees? The people doing that deserve to be in jail as of yesterday. So as we live here, honorable councillors, as we live here, we are going to do a collective decision to move in all those schools to confirm that is being implemented. At least I will implement only 4 schools. I leave the rest to the RCC, the RISO, the DISO. If they don't do their work, the one who appointed them is watching. The one who appointed them is watching, and I'm still the Minister of Local Government. I will come and implement with arrest. Now I want to give you another one, is Bukonde. Bukonde, SS. It receives a total of 289 million. Every quarter they are receiving 96 million, 95 million, 97 million. Why are they charging people? You people, why are they charging? And this money is given based on the student's number you have. The more number is the more money. That is why headmasters...
Of course, that was the corruption drive there being convened at Mbale with the local government council leaders. Now, as we move ahead back to the fatal accident, and of course, what has come out from the Ministry of Education, it looks like the Ministry of Education and Sports has suspended all school trips and educational excursions across the country with immediate effect following the deadly school bus crash in Kapchora district that has now claimed 21 lives. The directive issued by Acting Education Minister John Chrysostom Muyingo comes a day after the crash involving a King David Junior School bus returning from an educational tour to CP Falls. Let's hear more in this report.
N'obulamu bw'omwana n'obw'omusomesa n'owa tukitwala nga kintu kikulu nnyo mu bye tukola bye tulina okuwa priority. Abaana bano bonna baana ba eggwanga lifeereddwa. Njagala buli omu abaako kyakola tusale amagezi okulaba nti abasigaddewo nga balamu tubalabirira tubaladdeyo okufuna bizibu bifaanana bwe biti. Meya bw'abadde ayogera asabye tugayewo essomero lino, ndowooza mukiwulire, era asabye ekyokubiri kibadde ki trips ze bayita okulambulwa nti nazo tuziseeko siiru okutuuka ng'embeera eterefu. Njagala kakasa on behalf of government, that all trips, tours, whatever, have been suspended all over the country, Uganda. Nkyamasomo mbana akumalika kubiddemu engalo kubanga nze bwe ndaba ennaku zino masomero ebintu bwe biti luli mwamanyi ekyabaawo kati njagala tunoonyereze aggressively kiki ekyaleese enjega eno
nali nganye madamu sister nangamba omwana tumusasule kubanga omwana tumusasule omutima gwange ali kuganye ng'omuntu omanyi omuntu obeerako ekyebikira something like that naye baatugamba tubadde tukimanyi era tusasule emitwalo gy'abadde 23
be bagenda kukulambula mu mmotoka za linnya nga kuliko baasi 2 nga kuliko n'emmotoka endala entonotono 2. Baasi eyabadde n'abaana 107 be bafunye accident, era accident yabayisizza bubi. Baana 21 bakakasiddwa nti baafudde. Abaana 21 emirambo gyabwe ne gitwalibwa mu ddwaliro e Kapchora.
School which had 8 students involved in the accident. We are reliably informed that between 19 and 23 are reported to have died, but we have not yet confirmed. But the good thing is that the government has taken over and have gone to the scene in Kapchorwa to see how best they can bring the dead bodies and those ones who survived.
Accident yiri mu nsozi zeri lwaki tetwala nnyonyi netuyambira abaana lwaki ezitwale Kongo watali mugaso gwonna gwe tusobola kufunayo twe tusaba ekintu eki gavumenti okutulaga nti etuyambye etufaako ekwate ennyonyi etuleetera abaana abalamu n'abafu batuteere wano tulabe ekikadde kubanga Katonda yasazeeyo twe tetujja kunenya ssomero kubanga ebizibu bijja
As officer of the town clerk and Machi de Sabagabo, any school, primary, secondary, private government, those schools shall be allowed to conduct external tour outside Machi de Sabagabo without a due process has been concluded.
As a national broadcaster, we condone with the families, the bereaved families, and we pray that the Lord strengthens each and every one that has been affected in this accident. It's quite very sad. As we move ahead, People's Front for Freedom officers on Katonga Road have been condoned of by security agencies in mourning, barring any member from accessing the offices. The PFF members had organized to hold Juma prayers for their founding members, Dr. Kiza Besigye and former Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago, who are both in prison on charges of treason. Let's hear more.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omulirongo ulira muli mumutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungo ya kusabura. Mikono juu, free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
All right, listen up. Colgate is on a mission. It's kind of a big thing. Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
Makerere Institute for Social Development, a certified institution for higher learning, invites applicants for certificates and diploma courses like accounting and finance, procurement, journalism, tailoring and fashion design, with many other skills-tailored courses.
Our institution is compliant. First of all, It is recognized by National Council for Higher Education. We are certified. The registration number is UBD 187.
Tested and tried since 1995, Makerere Institute for Social Development is your solution when it comes to quality education.
You may apply for January, May, August intakes. Find us along Sir Apollo Kagwa Road, opposite Makerere University Sports Ground. Our tuition is affordable with a state-of-art facilities. Early birds stand a chance to grab themselves bursaries. MISD or Makerere Institute for Social Development, facilitating your career.
The parent is Tuliahewa Dixon. And the child is Ani Tuliahewa Esther.
Kambera gwete kwa mchisha ishe watu yayewa Esther wahangura school fees ngene na hateja shana mashemero magonka MTN momo eberewo mbeni nyegasta igana kaga ni 5 sta munana 0 hash kushashuro mwana school fees tokoma nyo mchisheri zagwisho wanje ninga nchaka ngwasa kuzo wawe mwebare munonga.
The Electoral Commission informs the public that the nomination of candidates for the election of Village Council LC1 chairpersons will take place from Wednesday 15th July to Sunday 19th July 2026. The nomination of candidates shall take place at the respective sub-county or town council or municipal division headquarters beginning at 9 a.m. and ending at 5 p.m. on each day. The Commission urges all aspirants and their supporters to carefully note the following. An aspirant shall be a person ordinarily resident in the village where he or she intends to contest. The aspirant must be 18 years of age or above. The aspirant must be a citizen of Uganda and a registered voter on the respective village council register. No academic qualifications shall be required for nomination as a candidate for election of village chairperson. No nomination fee shall be required for nomination as a candidate for this election. The Electoral Commission encourages all eligible Ugandans who wish to contest for the office of Village LC1 chairperson to prepare the required documentation and present themselves for nomination within the designated period. Members of the public are also urged to support a peaceful, orderly and a lawful nomination process by observing all Electoral Commission guidelines. Announced by Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, Chairperson, Electoral Commission.
Alo.
Yese mwami mukasa.
Mutyaneyo.
Yono broka.
Yenze broka wa mayumba.
Bangambye ne nyumba za mwenunjiko.
Kitufu. Oyagala abisenge bimeka.
Ngabi 3.
Ebeyi bagigambye.
Abangambye 5.
Nedda 7 zali nyamuko.
Yidwachi.
Anti langi je tusigisa ya mulembe. Kati ne value ekitundu yalinnya.
Musigisachi.
Global Paints.
Mutia.
Ku ceiling. Tukozesa Global Mat. Ate munda ne tukozesa Global Silk Vinyl.
Singa kwetaga wabweru.
Wabweru tukozesa Global Weather Coat Emulsion.
Owa. Akusiga je musiga. Ogwo mutindo okusasulira sente zonna.
Guli wumite.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
And in our next segment, the government's rehabilitation program for Ugandans repatriated from South Africa is restoring hope, rebuilding confidence, and preparing the returnees to become productive citizens. Let's hear more.
And it is, I first of all really implored them to appreciate the big heart of our president, which has been his lifestyle since childhood, sacrificing for humanity, working for the wellness of people, irrespective even of boundaries. I told them the story how in the university time, our president had to show solidarity with the Frelimo, people in Mozambique. So this is what has happened, that our government has heard that Ugandans are facing insecurity and have been repatriated using government resources, is just the character
of our father of the nation. I did indicate, and they appreciate. And actually, when I was concluding the lecture, I equated what they've gone through to the story in St. Luke of the prodigal son, who thought he needed his freedom to go and get soft life. Reaching there, he went into more of slave life, eating with the pigs, but he realized that east-west home is best, and the gesture which government has shown these people is the same like the father showed to the prodigal son when he returned. Colonial mentality killed self-confidence, brought an element of self-hate. People hate themselves, they hate everything theirs, and we need to give them a new reassurance, a new awakening for them to cherish what is ours, to know that this place is the best place to live in, to know that you can be comfortable anywhere on the globe, but home is the best place to be. How can you go and go to a place which is frozen half a year, and you live a place with weather which is conducive the whole year round? What type of reasoning is this?
The Deputy Speaker of Parliament and President of the Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States Parliamentary Assembly, Thomas Tayebwa, has urged the member states to make trade, industrialization and value addition central to their development agenda. Tayebwa made these remarks while addressing the 121st Council of Ministers.
Of Parliament and President of the Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States Parliamentary Assembly, Thomas Tayebwa, has urged the 79-member bloc to focus on practical economic issues that directly improve the livelihoods of citizens. Tayebwa says the organization's relevance would increasingly be judged by its ability to champion policies that create jobs, strengthen regional industries and enable member states to derive greater value from their natural resources.
It will depend on the continued support of member states. I therefore invite this council to reaffirm its commitment to a stronger parliamentary assembly, recalling that it remains an integral pillar of the OECP's governance architecture and a partner in advancing the organization's transformation agenda. Last, on the implementation of the Samoa Agreement, and I'll be visiting the Caribbean where the parliaments requested me to go back again and engage. Members of parliament stand by ready to support this process of ratification. Where ratification is still pending, they can help to advance it by supporting the necessary parliamentary procedures, promoting greater understanding of the agreement and encouraging timely national action.
The matter has been long championed by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who has consistently argued that Africa cannot achieve meaningful prosperity while exporting raw materials and importing finished products. That
we shouldn't export our minerals as raw materials, but we should add value. Okay? Across the organization, member states of the organization. And we are continuing, Mr. President, as independent countries, signing agreements with the EU, with the US on critical raw materials. They are not even addressing it from a regional perspective. They are booking raw materials from our side. They are not booking space for factories.
Tayebwa backed his argument with figures showing that Africa holds an estimated $29.5 trillion in mineral wealth, about 20% of the global total, but continues to lose substantial economic value because of its minerals leave the continent in raw processed form. Instead of refining or manufacturing higher value products locally, African countries export ores and concentrates, allowing other economies to capture the largest share of the value chain. According According to Tayewa, this model has left exporting employment opportunities and industrial growth alongside its natural resources. He observed that the continent processes only a small proportion of the minerals it produces, while countries that import those minerals generate far greater wealth through manufacturing.
And then we continue to go to those same countries to borrow. Yet what we are borrowing is gotten from what they've gotten from our side, and merely added value. I remember my president gave us some feedback last, I think around 2023, when the coffee market was, global market, was worth around $465 billion.
Tayewa also revisited one of President Museveni's long-standing examples of the coffee value chain to illustrate how commodity-producing countries receive only a fraction of the wealth generated from the products they produce. The example, he said, demonstrates why African countries must move beyond exporting raw commodities and instead invest in processing and manufacturing industries that retain value at home. Tayewa warned the OSCP's Council of Ministers that unless the bloc redefines its priorities by focusing on issues that matter most to ordinary citizens, it risks losing its relevance.
Producers, you produce 465 billion worth of value and get only 25 billion US dollars. And we continue to read from the book of Lamentations for us who are Christians. There's also a book of Acts in the same Bible. So, you know, and we also ask ourselves, I ask my Secretary General, that why would the headquarters of the OSCPs be in Brussels?
The OSCPs brings together countries from Africa, the Caribbean and Pacific to promote cooperation on trade, sustainable development and political dialogue. Winnie Nalusiba reporting for UBC TV.
Now happening with the NRM caucus, the old leadership of the National Resistance Movement Parliamentary Caucus Executive has handed over office to new members. The vice chairperson is Isaac Ishmael Otimgi, and former publicity Kintu Brandon handed over to Derek Orone, and Nakuti Faith, a former treasurer, handed over to Hope Grania Nakazibwe, and Brenda Namukuta is the new Secretary General to replace Lillian Abba.
That cannot allow you space to do due diligence. Make sure that you do due diligence on every matter before you okay it. I trust that you will do a good job that you've always been doing in other designation. We will be around to support you on matters of the financial management guidelines of caucus when required to do so.
To pledge to the members that I will always do due diligence without handling any matter as an emergency. Issues to do with money, I believe, can never be handled as an emergency. If you do that, then you land into challenges. So,
as a very hardworking person that I've worked with him in the 11th Parliament, and he has diligently promised that he'll work beyond heights. So Honorable Derek Orone,
with you to see that the NRM caucus updates to the public at all times, and we need transparency and good working relationship.
And as I take on the mantle, I'll do my best to produce the resolutions of the caucus and to work together with my colleagues to bring up the good faith and reputation of our caucus.
Remember the UPDF bill, amendment bill. It was causing a lot of issues, divergent bills. The president is a listening president. He called us for a caucus, and by the time we came out of the caucus, we had a different transformed bill with amended clauses, which was better for everybody. So these things are not cast to stones. And members represent various views, we represent various communities, so we welcome their views, and that is why we hold the caucus meetings, and that is why all issues. And by the time we come out of the caucus, you see that we end up voting as one, because we go and caucus and talk as a team. If you PLU is not a registered party. During the concluded election of 2026, PLU was very clear that they are working together with NRM in the Tuko Pamoja project, and it traversed all areas. They did not field candidates. All the candidates were NRM, and they were supporting candidates of NRM. So, like there are other bodies, we say this EXCOM will be working alongside all other mobilizing bodies under our party chairman, the Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. That one is absolutely wrong.
A delegation from the Malian War College, comprising senior military officers from 9 African countries, has visited Day Biofarmers, a pharmaceutical manufacturing facility in Matuga, Wakiso district, to learn about Uganda's growing role in biotechnological pharmaceutical manufacturing and health security.
The delegation, comprising of 9 countries including Mali, Guinea-Conakry, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, Morocco, Togo, Chad, Senegal and Cameroon, toured the state-of-the-art facility and received briefings on Day Biofarmers' work in manufacturing vaccines, cancer medicines, insulin and other essential drugs. Officials explained that the company is helping reduce Africa's dependence on imported medicines by building local manufacturing capacity while creating employment opportunities and promoting research and innovation.
We're happy that we brought technology for the first time on the African continent. We're happy that we've invented our own innovations that we've verified in the US and have been accepted most of these patents. We've brought geotechnology to manufacture some of these vaccines, some of these drugs, medicines, so that our people don't need to import drugs.
Some of the visiting officers commended Uganda's investment in science and technology, noting that strong pharmaceutical manufacturing is vital for national security, emergency preparedness, and sustainable development across the continent. They also emphasized the need for greater collaboration among African nations in research, innovation, and healthcare to build a self-reliant Africa capable of responding to future health emergencies.
Je voudrais féliciter le docteur pour tout ce qu'il est en train de faire dans le domaine de la biotechnologie.
The managing director of Day Biopharma, Dr. Matthias Magola, attributed the accredited growing work to the efforts and good leadership of President Yoweri Museveni, saying it is his support that makes him stand.
I thank our President, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and the CDF for recommending this work to come here. And I'm shocked.
So this means a lot, and we are anyway seeing a lot of delegations here coming to see the facility, because this is one of the state-of-art facility within Africa continent, which I don't think any other state has in Africa.
The visit forms part of the Malian War College's regional study tour, bringing together military officers from 9 African countries to exchange knowledge on strategic sectors that contribute to peace, security and socio-economic transformation. Charity Marion Imnat and Kenneth Tanaba reporting for UBC News.
Now, the Ministry of Health has commemorated National Self-Care Awareness Day in Uyikwe District, bringing together government leaders, health workers and residents to promote healthy lifestyles and preventive care.
Self-care is it is a national strategy. It is embroidered in the Ministry of Health guidelines and practices. So as a district, we're already doing that. We're encouraging our people to look after their lives. We're encouraging the right nutrition. We're encouraging the testing blood pressure, testing diabetes. We're encouraging people to go for family planning. We're encouraging people to be able to do things that improve their well-being. That is already been done in all our health centers and in all our hospitals.
You must get a special time and go to your district councils and explain about sickle cell. It is Uganda's next biggest problem. Tulina diabetes, tulina hypertension, and the sickle cell will. Uganda is among the 7 high burden countries. kati bwebyo
talked about non-communicable diseases of hypertension, diabetes, pressure, and what have you. I want to bring to your attention, to date, there is a high burden of communicable disease, that is malaria. There is a huge problem of malaria, I call it outbreak, especially among the elder population and among the school-going children.
International Self-Care today. I want to thank those, starting with those our school, which has demonstrated here. The kids, all the songs were related. How do you pass over message? Message is passed over through such a communication. Because the speech is already gone. But this young lady says, if you don't care about your health, it is up to you.
Now, the Electoral Commission has warned that any of its officials found to have engaged in malpractice during the recently concluded elections will face the full force of the law. Commissioner Stephen Tashovia made the remarks in Ginger City during a post-election dialogue with stakeholders.
Arising out of the elections, we are also carrying out a cleaning exercise. One, the people supervisors who have participated, who have done election malpractices are going to be blacklisted. And then this is why it should be helpful for stakeholders, supervisors and election officials that have been partisan, that have been involved in campaigns, that have had election malpractices. They should be reported to us. They should be reported to the DO. And we shall blacklisted them. They will not participate in future elections. The same with our planning officers. Right now at the office, we are dealing with a number of matters involving our officials. I wouldn't want to bring the details, but be rest assured that the appropriate action shall be taken. Because for the Electoral Commission, conducting a fair and fair election is not a favor to the citizens of this country. It's the command. It's our responsibility as a government and people's institution to deliver a free and fair election.
Brought to you by
Makerere Institute for Social Development, a certified institution for higher learning, invites applicants for certificates and diploma courses. MISD or Makerere Institute for Social Development, facilitating your career.
And that's all we had time for. Once again, thank you for allowing us into your lunchtime space. Of course, stay tuned for more news will be coming your way in our prime time. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. Good afternoon.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Midfield, and Miguel Almiron returns from his